Now is the time.
Now is the best time.
Our top three tonight is a very special one. It's just because of the time of the year. We're gonna talk about top three Disney Plus Christmas movies, and I have to tell you guys that was
got creative on this one.
no, it's not. That was really difficult.
I'm scared.
I'm not a Christmas movie guy.
So maybe we should make him start first since he
he's
that on us.
Definitely going first.
No, no problem. I'm okay.
Good.
Okay.
Mr. Heartboat.
Okay. I have to explain one thing. I grew up in it was a small town in the middle of nowhere, but it was a medium-sized town in Brazil. And during the 70s and early 80s, we had like 2 radio stations and 1 TV station for the whole town. So it's not that we have
like Kentucky.
Yeah, there was many channels and things. And our TV station, mainly in the 70s, they used to run a lot of short cartoons from Disney, Warner, Tom and Jerry, everything like that. So, and for me, one of the most fun memories that I have when I was young to realize that that Christmas time was close is then when they started to run this. And for many years they do that. They started to run for many times during the day the same cartoon, which was
Copacabana?
Nope. Mickey's, Silly Symphony's Santa's Workshop, and for me,
changed his picks.
No, I mentioned yesterday, and you guys saying that was full of something, but and you poke my heart. But that is
sing a song about that.
And that is an amazing. I have many different memories, but there's one thing that is important about this cartoon is, first of all, you have Walt Disney is one of the voices. He does the voices of one of the Santa's helpers, their assistants, and it was directed by Wilfred Jackson, which is the guy behind Cinderella, Alice in the Wonderland, Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp, and many other cartoons. And he was also involved in cartoon sequences for Snow White. And there's a nice thing about that, because there's a little parade of toys. They use the Franz Schubert's Military March once, and how's
it go? How does it go?
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Get that's going to be in your head all night.
Yes, it is.
All night.
And it's beautiful. So Santa's Workshop is my third option. It is a short movie, but I think everybody knows that. And so that's my third one. I hope you like it.
I do like it. So my number three favorite Disney Plus Christmas movies, or Christmas movies that you can find on Disney Plus, is, and I know Collin got great amusement out of this, but it is Phineas and Ferb's Christmas Vacation, and this is season 2, episode 22. The reason, look, I love Phineas and Ferb. I'm so glad that my kids introduced me to it, and I'm super excited that I actually 12? Made it. It is highbrow. It is highbrow fun. In fact, this episode features this wonderful piece about cognitive dissonance. And if you're not familiar with cognitive dissonance, yes, you should watch this, because
I had a professor in college that was obsessed with that. It's a very clever concept.
It's not clever. It's science. So in this particular episode, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, that was my favorite parts. It's a great episode, but my favorite parts is Dr. Doofenshmirtz. He has created this thing called I think it's the Naughtyinator. The Naughtyinator. And the whole idea of the Naughtyinator.
Is that what happened to you, Jason?
The Naughtyinator, the whole idea is that it's going to create this device that basically throws naughtiness like into the sky, and this cloud of naughtiness is going to obscure the town. And so then Santa, when he's checking his list, he'll think that everybody in the town is naughty, and so he won't come to town. And when Santa doesn't come to town, there's no Christmas, right? He explains this all, of course, because that's what evil villains do, right? But this is the best part. He says he's of course talking to the platypus. He says, there's like one little problem with my otherwise perfect plan. I don't actually have a problem with Christmas. It's just like, and then he launches into song. He launches, of course, because Dr. Doofenshmirtz, he launches into song about all the things he hates, all the things that bother him, all the things that he can't stand. It's like listening. It's like having a conversation with Carlos. And then, but he says like, something must be wrong with me. How can you be like this evil, villain, whatever, and not hate Christmas? But he doesn't have a problem with Christmas. In fact, he's making this as a gift for some other evil genius person. You got to watch it. It's so worth it, and it's Christmas. So look, if you turn it on now, no one will come. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, he's just watching a Christmas show."
Colin, buddy.
Well, of the group, one of us had to pick the one from the Walt Disney World parks, and the parks really around at least the country. I don't know if it touches on the entire world or not, and it's decorating Disney. If Carlos, do you have the graphic there? But and it's a really neat show on Disney Plus. I think it's exclusive to Disney Plus. They might have showed it on TV a few times. Somebody might be able to check me on that, but I saw it on Disney Plus. It's basically in detail of how they decorate the parks for Walt Disney World, Disneyland. It is kind of Disneyland heavy, but the whole scene about them decorating their haunted mansion for Christmas and the big gingerbread house that they developed for that. It's a really neat to see how quickly it all comes together and how much planning's involved before they kind of throw it all together in one night, which has always been really fascinating to me. And if you're going to Disney this holiday season, it's a great thing to watch ahead of time because you appreciate all that they've done and all that they continue to do despite the situation of the year to make it a very festive place. And I have to say the Christmas decor in Magic Kingdom's incredible this year, especially considering all that this year has entailed. It's a fantastic environment. The crowds have been a little high, but that's to be expected. It's the best time of year to be in Magic Kingdom, and it's just a very warm and welcoming atmosphere. But it's a great. I think it's about 50 minutes or so, roughly. It's not a super long thing on Disney Plus. It's great for a plane ride to the parks if you're from the Northeast somewhere. So if you're headed to the parks, definitely be sure to check that out. And if you're not, it's a good place to get your Disney fix.
Claire, yes, this is the one with Whoopi. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Well,
yes, it is.
With Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah. But is this the one with Whoopi getting some gingerbread? Yes. Yes.
It is. It is indeed.
A lot of films with Whoopi. This is the one where she gets gingerbread.
And is the?
They're not all good, but this one is.
No, I love
some other. Anyway, I digress.
My second one is also a short movie, and also a movie that brought good memories from. I was not a little kid, but I remember that we in my home in beginning of the 80s we got a special edition of a VHS that was, I think it was called Walt Disney's Christmas. I will show it later on. But there's a movie there that, despite being from 1952, I remember from that phase, and it's Pluto's Christmas Tree. And today I was showing that the movie to the short to Maria, to my daughter, and she was laughing a lot, particularly because Pluto and
this was made before both of us were born.
Yes, and but it is a nice. I don't like. There's something about Mickey's animation that for me is a little bit strange. But Pluto and Chip and Dale are great in this short, and there's several special scenes there. The way that the chipmunks they mock Pluto in the beginning, and when they are inside the tree walking around the all the Christmas decoration, and it's a lovely short, particularly by the end that you have the Christmas Carol when they look through the window and they see Donald, Goofy, and Minnie singing, and then a sheep and they'll go do the little dancing around. It's a nice movie. But let me show you one thing that I found is that was the way that the VHS came. It was a white, beautiful case packaging, and I remember that pretty much. The one like that, and it was fun to find it in the internet. So
if you can feel that case just by seeing it, you're old enough to remember this.
Yes, yes. And so Pluto's Christmas tree was my second option, and would be my last. That is actually
weird.
Christmas. Jason, who is Jason
Me.
or Collin?
Next, Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Ready for my number 2?
Yep.
My number 2 is it's pretty much as far as you could get from Phineas and Ferb, probably, and stay in the Christmas realm. My number 2 is Miracle on 34th Street, and I'm talking about the original, not that remake stuff that I actually have never seen, but this is the original from 1947, starring, of course, Natalie Wood and Edmund Gwenn. Edmund Gwenn, who plays plays Kris Kringle, technically. He won. I didn't know this. He won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for this movie, and it is fantastic. And I know that Carlos has he gets a little poke or heart pokey or something when he watches this, but I love it, and I love it because it's not a, it certainly isn't a Hallmark style Christmas movie, and it's not like it's just not your prototypical Christmas movie. But what I love about it is the messaging. Like, there's that line in the movie where Kris Kringle explains that Christmas isn't just a day. It's like it's a state of mind, or it's a frame of mind. Like, that's perfect. It's perfect. It's exactly right. It's exactly right. And if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil any plots, but it's really good, and it's actually a really fun movie to watch with your kids as well. And it's on Disney Plus, which is fantastic. Collin's number 2, right?
Yeah. So my number 2, I think, is going to be a kind of a fan favorite here. So we'll see. But it's actually the Santa Claus 2. And that's foreshadowing for possibly what's further up the list. But this is one of the most quoted movies for me around the holidays, and for good reason. There's so many one-liners in that, and with Tim Allen writing so much of the movie, to my understanding, and kind of ad-libbing some of it along the way, there are a lot of funny moments. When the plastic Santa is drinking the hot chocolate, that's always hilarious. All the sayings that come along with that. The giant toy soldiers, that's become kind of a classic part of this movie. And it does have a pretty great story, in my opinion. It's not as good as the first one. I just gave away something further up my list, but I really do enjoy this. And the storyline, while they did change up a lot of actors from the first one to the second one one's still a lot of fun. Now, the third one, in my opinion, is a whole different story. Wasn't a fan of that one. But if you've not seen these movies, which a lot of people, either you absolutely love them or you've never seen them, definitely check it out this Christmas season.
Let me go to my third. The first one. And it's not a Christmas movie. I have to tell you. Actually,
shocker.
There was a no. It was challenging for me because probably one of my favorites Christmas movie is not a Disney movie, so I could not put here in the list. So, and I'm not even gonna bring it because they're going to say that I'm trying to have an honorable mention, but it is not.
That's all right. He's going to cheat anyway.
No, I'm not going to do that. Actually, Jason, even with my poked heart, Jason helped me with this one, because he remembered me that not only we could consider this one as a Disney movie because now Disney owns Fox, but it's also It's also on Disney Plus. And
Indeed.
the whole thing that why am you choosing this movie to be in Christmas, because there's something related to my family. We used to watch that movie every time.
Somebody said Die Hard in the comments.
No, during this time of the year. So, and it's actually probably my favorite movie ever. You're gonna be surprised, but I'm talking about The Sound of Music. And it's
Please sing it for us.
I can sing every single song.
He's not going to stop.
I can sing every single song. I went to Salzburg just to visit everything there.
Did you really?
Yes, I went to visit the set.
He even made clothes out of drapes.
I would love to see that.
So the whole thing, let me just go, not that much, like this.
The hills are alive.
Now that song I don't like, but my favorite thing. So my favorite things could be a Christmas
Sound of
song.
Music.
My favorite thing could be a Christmas song. And then the other ones, So Long Farewell, and even the Gold Edelweiss. I can play that I can bring the guitar here and play to you. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but when the family, because the whole story is related to something that really happened, and the Von Trapp family, they flew after leaving Austria. They flew to
Vermont.
To Vermont, and install the city, the ski resort area there. They do have a lodge, and do have a nice brewery and a restaurant. And I went last year there to and it's a great place.
Thanks for inviting us.
So that was my first one. I know that it's not an obvious Christmas movie, but I think it is with the Christmas spirit, I think. Yeah. I hope you guys agree.
We'll count it.
Love it.
We'll let you cheat this time.
Brown paper packages tied up with strings.
These are enough. Now we're not. I already had it in my singing to it.
So my number one. I mean, when we were talking about this subject, I said I had my number one like right up the bat. I mean, and it is absolutely the Muppets Christmas Carol. Cool. I absolutely love the Muppets Christmas Carol. I could watch this again and again and again. It is by far my favorite version of A Christmas Carol. I don't care what you have to say, my British friends, how much class I may lack. It's fantastic. And it was 1992, I believe. Michael Caine stars. I think he is the only human in the entire production, which is amazing. But it's Michael freaking Caine, and he's fantastic and he's great. But my favorite part about this, or favorite thing about this particular movie, is the Marley and Marley bit. So Statler and Waldorf are playing Marley and Marley, the brothers who used to be partners with Ebenezer Scrooge, played by Michael Caine, and I'm not going to sing it, but it's like Marley and Marley. It's so, and they're like, ooh. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Fantastic, love this movie. But I also have an honorable mention.
Yes, you do have.
Can I do that? Okay.
Yeah.
The one that makes no sense whatsoever.
So here's the deal. Like, this honorable mention, this would have been in my top 3 officially, had it actually been on Disney Plus. Unfortunately, it's not on Disney Plus, but it should be on Disney Plus, and you should write to somebody. I don't know who. Write to somebody and tell them that this should be on Disney Plus, because it is a Jim Henson production, and it is Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. And Colin was like, I don't think this actually exists. I don't think this really exists. It's from, I think, 1977.
No, I sent a GIF and I thought it was the wrong thing, but sure enough, this is what it was.
Thing. Yes. And this, oh my goodness, you haven't seen this, you need to watch it. I think it is available on Amazon Prime and maybe also HBO, because HBO is where I think. So originally it was a Canadian Broadcasting Company production, but then shortly thereafter it was on HBO. It's been on other places since then, ABC and so forth. But it's so good. The music, the songs, you will never forget them once you hear them. Like There Ain't No Hole in the Wash Tub that Emmett sings with his mom, which is great. Barbecue. If you've seen this, you're now hearing in your barbecue. You're like, right, it's fantastic. And probably the best is this kind of punk rockish, heavy metalish band called the River Bottom Nightmare Band, and that's also the name of the song. But I have some of the lyrics to this song. And I'm just gonna play I'm not playing. I'm gonna actually just say a couple of lyrics here.
We'll get striked.
We know we're a mess, but I does not like to be clean. We don't brush our teeth because our toothache can help us stay mean. And Carlos knows what that's about. We don't wish to learn, but we hate what we don't understand. River Bottom. It's so good. You gotta watch this. Find it, watch it. You'll thank me later. Emmett Otterjug.
Okay,
Well,
so
Collin, speaking of disappointment, what's your number one?
Oh, that was rude. That was rude. Well, my number one is probably the best Christmas movie around, and it's the Santa Claus movie. And I know somebody agrees with me because they saw it in their comments earlier, and so there's at least one person that's going to agree with me there. But no, just the first one, the very first one, and to be honest, it's probably one of the most classic Christmas movies I've watched in a long time, short of like Home Alone or stuff like that. But on the Disney side of things, well, Home Alone's technically Disney now, but originally Disney, the Santa Claus is very classic. As many of you may know, it's basically Santa fell off the roof, Tim Allen takes over the suit, and he becomes Santa Claus because of it. It's a great movie. The cast in this one was substantially better than the second one, in my opinion. And they kind of bailed on that cast because there were so many years between the two. But the first one was a spectacular movie. And just so many iconic scenes in that. I don't really have much else about it, but if you've seen it, you probably love it. And if you... Santa hits... No, that's the wrong movie, but I'm trying to think. The second or third one, Santa hits Tim Allen with his shovel. So, but I like this movie. It's fun.
And
you know what my favorite part of that movie is?
There was a lot of love for the movie.
Have you even seen this movie?
Yeah. You know what my favorite
Are you going to
part
say
is?
the end?
The credit.
Yeah,
there was a lot of good comments. Colin, you're not alone.
I know I'm not alone.
Yes.
People love this movie.
For me, the only thing is that there was one movie that almost was in my list, but I said it's too obvious, and it was Home Alone, particularly the two, the number two. That is in Disney Plus.
It is, yeah, because that's Fox.
And one of my favorite Disney movies, Christmas movie, is not Disney, so it couldn't, not even Fox couldn't be. But I have to mention that is Elf, that I really love.
I'm not saying anything else. I don't want to be accused of poking his heart anymore.
No, you want to see the video again?
No, good Lord, we're already.
I'm ready. I'm just ready to press. I'm so ready.